Hello friends, we will start our class with Lewis structure. What are these Lewis structures? In this class we will be covering what is a Lewis structure, what is its significance, then how will you draw a Lewis structure, what is a formal charge. All these subjects we are going to cover today. Lewis structure, they are as a convenient way of showing an atom, the valence electrons of an atom. Okay, so the Lewis structures are a convenient way of showing an atom's valence electrons. They are simply electron dot representation of molecules. Lewis structures are electron dot representations. Electron dot representations of molecules. That is Lewis structure. Okay, electron dot representation of molecules. So they are Lewis structures. Now what is the importance of this Lewis structure here? You see, a properly drawn Lewis structure, a valid Lewis structure. I am stressing upon that point. What is meant by a properly drawn Lewis structure? It shows the number of bonds, number of bonds and the number of lone pairs present around each atom in a molecule. So this will be important from the point of view how many bonds are there, bonds the atoms are forming in the molecule, then how many lone pair of electrons are there, how many lone pairs. Okay, these are the things. Now a properly drawn Lewis structure, it shows the number of bonds and the number of lone pairs present around each atom in a molecule. So the valid Lewis structure means what? A valid Lewis structure, it will have each hydrogen atom in the Lewis structure, it will have 2 electrons. Okay, and each element in the second row of the periodic table will have not more than 8 electrons. Okay, this is the valid Lewis structure. So how will you say it's a valid Lewis structure? In a valid Lewis structure, each hydrogen atom, it can have 2 electrons, and the second row element, it can't have more than 8 electrons. This is the maximum thing. You see, hydrogen 2 electrons and each second row element has not more than 8 electrons. Okay, so this is the first step rather. It is needed to determine many of the properties of a molecule. Okay, so these things are preliminary to understanding the properties of a molecule. So what are the properties which we are going to discuss? Okay, so Lewis structure, it is important from this point of view. So what are the properties here we will be discussing? What is hybridization? Hybridization, whether it is an sp or sp2 or sp3, etc. This is the type of hybridizations here. So to understand this property, the Lewis structure, we should have an idea of Lewis structures here. Now, okay, now what are the other properties here? So this is one thing which we are just seeing, hybridization, and another one is the geometry. Okay, the geometry of the molecule. The geometry of the molecule means in a molecule, the spatial arrangement of atoms. Okay, the spatial orientation of atoms in a molecule, that is actually the geometry. What are the kind of geometries here? Whether this molecule, whether it is a tetrahedral one. Okay, in the case of an sp3 hybridized, we get a tetrahedral structure, orientation, tetrahedral one, or whether it is a planar or linear molecule, or whether it is a trigonal planar, and so many kind of things, these are the geometry actually. Then first we have hybridization, then we are talking about the nature of bonds, the type of bond. Okay, type of bond, whether it is a single bond or either it's a double bond, or it's a triple bond, etc. Okay, so these are the things actually important, the properties of a molecule. It is from the point of view of these properties, we should have an idea about the Lewis structure. This is the first step needed, rather to determine many of the properties of a molecule. Got the point? So now how will you draw a valence Lewis structure here? Drawing, we should draw only the valence electrons here. Okay, this is electron dot representation of molecules. Electron dot representation means we are showing only the valence electrons here. Okay, then as we have just now spoken, every second row element not more than 8 electrons, and every hydrogen atom 2 electrons. Okay, your structure is ready now. So how will you draw it? Drawing only the valence electrons here. Then every second row element, it can not more than 8 electrons. Okay, each hydrogen give 2 electrons. So this is the way we should draw the Lewis structure. Now for a diatomic molecule like say hydrogen fluoride, how will you draw the Lewis structure here? So hydrogen fluoride, we know the hydrogen, okay, it has got only one valence electron. Then we have the fluorine here. Okay, fluorine is like this. So the sharing of this electron take place here. Okay, one electron from the hydrogen and one electron from the fluorine atom, it will be sharing, and a 2 electron bond will be formed. This will be like this, we can show. Okay, so this is the hydrogen fluoride, a molecule HF, a diatomic molecule. So this can be, or this we can even show it like this, H dash F. Okay, and put the lone pair of electrons here. That is 3 lone pairs are here on the fluorine atom, and there is a line here, a solid line between hydrogen and fluorine. This solid line, it represents a 2 electron bond. So you should understand that point. These hydrogen and fluorine, or any atom as a matter of fact, once this bond is formed, this is a single bond. Okay, it is a 2 electron bond. It's a 2 electron bond represented by a solid line here. Okay, now how many bonds? I think I will erase this thing. Then each hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and all this kind of a thing, I will just give you a brief idea how many bonds it can form and how many lone pairs it has got all. Of course, you must be familiar with all these things, but still, to understand Lewis structure in full, I should mention that point also. The hydrogen, so how many bonds it can form, number of bonds and number of lone pairs. Number of bonds, number of lone pairs. Okay, so in the case of hydrogen, number of bonds it can form only 1. Then there is no lone pair electrons here. Then in the case of carbon, we have 4 bonds, there is no lone pair. But in the case of nitrogen, what is the position? Is something different. Okay, nitrogen can form 3 bonds, and it has got 1 lone pair of electrons here at the top. And oxygen, if you see, it has got, oxygen can form 2 bonds and 2 lone pairs of electrons. And in the case of halogens, halogen we are representing by the letter X. Here the X stands for your fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These are halogens actually. So it can form 1 bond and it will have 3 lone pairs of electrons. Okay, now what are these lone pairs? I have been repeatedly telling lone pair. Lone pair means bonding electrons or shared electrons. As you know, bonding electrons, they are shared electrons. That is just like just now we have seen, the hydrogen fluoride, 1 electron from hydrogen and 1 electron from fluorine. Okay, so these are shared electrons actually. And non-bonding electrons are unshared electrons. Shared electrons, unshared electrons. The unshared electrons, that are also called lone pair. Okay, these are simple things. Lone pair means shared electrons and unshared electrons. Okay, these are the two kinds of electrons. So the unshared electrons, they are known as lone pair. Okay, so now after having discussed this issue, now there should be a procedure for drawing the Lewis structure. Okay, how to draw a Lewis structure? We have 3-4 steps here. I will just mark it for you. Step 1. Okay, what is the step? Arrange the atoms. I will go to a different page so that it will be very clear for you. Because I will be giving you certain examples also. So the step 1. What is step 1? Step 1 is, arrange the atoms next to each other. Okay, that you think are bonded together. So if you say, what does it mean? Suppose you have got a molecule methane. Methane, its formula is CH4. So you know that the 4 hydrogen atoms are around 1 carbon atom. Therefore, you arrange it like that only. Always you place the hydrogen and the halogen atoms on the periphery. When you are representing, as I say, for example, step 1, arranging the atoms. Arrange atoms. Okay, arrange atoms next to each other. Say, example, I am giving methane, CH4. How will you arrange it? Like this, carbon at the center, then 4 hydrogens like this. Because hydrogen can form 4 bonds. Just now we have seen carbon can form 4 bonds here. So arrange the atoms in this fashion, placing hydrogen and the halogen atoms on the periphery, because the hydrogen and the halogens, they form only 1 bond each. Okay, so in the case of methane, the first thing is arranging the atoms around the carbon, 1 carbon at the center and the 4 hydrogen on the periphery we have arranged. Now if we have as a first approximation we'll have to do not more atoms around an atom, that the number of bonds it will form. That means around carbon, carbon can form at the most 4 bonds. Therefore, around the carbon, you should not keep more than 4 atoms. That is why, that is the first approximation. And if you have another molecule, say for example, CH5N. Okay, here we have 1 carbon atom, hydrogen atom and a heteroatom, nitrogen. Okay, we know carbon, the valency is 4, it can form 4 bonds, so the nitrogen can form 3 bonds. Therefore, you don't keep more than 4 atoms around carbon here. This is what the principle. Okay, like this we can draw. Then we have your nitrogen, 1 hydrogen, 1 hydrogen. Okay, like this. This is the first approximation. So 4 atoms around carbon and 3 atoms around nitrogen. This is the first step. Now the step 2 in drawing the Lewis structure will be counting the electrons. Okay, this is a very important step. Count the electrons. What does it mean? Count the electrons means count the valence electrons from all atoms in a molecule. Say here we have the methane. So counting the electrons means count the electrons, valence electrons from carbon and all hydrogens here. From 4 hydrogens you count the electrons and from 1 carbon you count the electrons. Okay, now the thing is, you see, if there is a negative charge, what is to be done? 1 electron for each negative charge you have to add. And if there is a positive charge, subtract one electron for each positive charge. Okay. So the final sum, whatever you are getting, it gives the total number of electrons that must be used in drawing the Lewis structure. That is the step 2. That is, you have to count the electrons, that is, count the valence electrons from each atom. Okay, valence electrons from all atoms. Now, there may be situations, there may be a negative charge, there may be a positive charge. Now, if there is a negative charge, an electron extra, okay, electron is to be added. One electron is to be added for each negative charge. Okay, and if there is a positive charge, electron, it is to be deducted, subtracted. You have to reduce the one electron for each positive charge. You have to subtract it. Okay, now add everything together. So this sum, it will give you the total number of electrons that must be used for drawing a Lewis structure. That is the step 2. Now step 3 will be simple again. There is a step 3. The step 3 is arranging the electrons around the atoms. Here the bonding and everything will come. Arrange the electrons around the atoms. Okay, arranging the electrons around the atoms means what? That is, we will be placing a bond between every 2 atoms, giving the fundamental principle, that is 2 electrons to each hydrogen, okay, and not more than 8 electrons to an element in the second row of the periodic table. So that is how we will have to arrange the electrons. So, and a bond, we have to put a bond between every 2 atoms here. And when you are putting the bond, you have to ensure that hydrogen gets only 2 electrons, okay, and other second row element doesn't get more than 8 electrons. Then all remaining electrons, okay, to fill the octets with lone pairs. Using you should use all the remaining electrons to fill octet with lone pairs. Now, if all the valence electrons are used and an atom does not still have an octet, what will you do? Form multiple bonds. Okay, so that is how the Lewis structure is to be drawn. That is, I will repeat for your convenience now. That is, you have to place a bond between every 2 atoms. Say here methane. I am just going to put the bond here. You see this one bond here, one bond here, one bond here. Okay. So I am putting a bond, placing a bond between every 2 atoms. Now here, what happens? Carbon has got 4 bonds. Here carbon, hydrogen, 4 bonds. So each bond, it is a 2 electron bond. Therefore 8 electrons around carbon. So the octet is full. So it is a valid Lewis structure. This is a valid Lewis structure here. It's a filled octet is there. Octet, filled octet. This is the principle in drawing the Lewis structure here. Now, so, and even after doing this thing, remaining electrons are there, means that it will, should be used for filling the octet with the lone pair. I will explain to you that thing, I will show you some example, then you will understand. Then all the remaining electrons to fill octet with lone pair. Now, even after using all the valence electrons, an atom doesn't have an octet. There may be situation like that. You have utilized all the electrons available here. Still the atom doesn't have an octet. Then the option here is only forming a multiple bonds. I will explain this thing with some examples, Now, what is the final step here? Step 4. It is assigning formal charge. This is our step 4, assign formal charge. Now, in the case of, we have seen methane. Now we have seen methane, carbon in the center here, then hydrogens in the periphery. All the hydrogens we are putting in the periphery. Okay, the carbon is surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms. Now, Second, here in the case of methane, counting the electrons, how will you count these electrons here? Okay, here now one carbon, so I will put it here, one carbon. How many valence electron it has got? 4 electrons. One carbon, 4 electrons, therefore it will be total 4 electrons here. Then hydrogen, how many hydrogens are there? 4 hydrogens. Into each hydrogen 1 valence electron, it will be 4 electrons. Therefore total, how many? Total is equal to 8 electrons. Therefore, while drawing this Lewis structure, all these 8 electrons are to be utilized. Now you can see when we are drawing this like this, okay, each carbon is having 4 bonds with hydrogen. So 4 bonds are there, so 8 electrons. The entire electrons are utilized here. 8 electrons around carbon atom. Okay, now the bond has been added here. That is step 3, arranging the electrons around the atoms and putting the bond and all that we have done now. Adding a bond between each carbon and hydrogen. Okay, then 8 electrons around carbon and 2 electrons around hydrogen. Therefore, 4 2 electron bonds around the carbon. That is carbon hydrogen bond. It is a 2 electron bond. Like that we have 4 2 electron bonds around the carbon. So all the 8 electrons have been used. Therefore, in methane, there is no lone pair of electrons which can be used here. Okay. So what is the check here? You should have a checklist. How to check whether a Lewis structure, it is a valid Lewis structure or not. You are drawing a Lewis structure. Now we should know whether it is a valid Lewis structure or there is something missing here and there. So we can ask 3 questions. The first question, have all the electrons been used? Okay, that is the first question. Have we utilized all the electrons? Just like in the case of methane, we have seen 8 electrons. Now the question here, while drawing the structure for methane, all the 8 electrons have been used or not? That's the first question. Now the second question, as you know, each hydrogen, whether it is surrounded by 2 electrons. Okay, then each second row element, that is the element in the second row of the periodic table. Okay, it is surrounded by not more than 8 electrons. These are the 3 questions we should raise here to check up whether your answer is correct or not. Have all the electrons been used here while drawing the structure? Okay, the second one, whether each hydrogen, it is surrounded by 2 electrons. And each second row element, it is surrounded by not more than 8 electrons. Okay, if your answer to these 3 questions, it is yes or in the affirmative, then you can safely say you have drawn a correct Lewis structure. Okay, this is the test actually. So the test is these 3 questions should be answered in the affirmative. Now here also it's CH5N. I am just putting the bonds here so you will know whether it is a valid Lewis structure or not. You see, like this we will have to put it. So the lone pair is added here. The carbon is surrounded by 4 bonds, nitrogen surrounded by 3 bonds and a lone pair of electrons here. So it is becoming a valid Lewis structure. Okay, now after having discussed this thing, another example, I will just erase this portion. So methyl alcohol. How will you draw a valid Lewis structure for methyl alcohol? Methanol. So your methanol, how will you draw the Lewis structure here? Methanol, what is the formula? CH3OH, or it can be CH4O. Okay, this is methanol, CH4O. Now again the same thing, step 1. Step 1 will be, what is the step 1? Arranging the atoms. Okay, arranging the atoms, that is step 1. So we will be arranging the atoms in this fashion. Hydrogen, then we have carbon, hydrogen, OH. Okay, like this we are arranging the 4 atoms around carbon and 2 atoms around oxygen, because we know carbon can form 4 bonds, oxygen can form 2 bonds here. So accordingly, these atoms have been arranged. Now we let to say step 2, count the number of electrons. Okay, now here we have one carbon. Carbon, how many electrons? One carbon into 4 electrons, 4 valence electrons. Therefore, it will give you 4 electrons. Okay, it will be then. Then one oxygen. I will just leave a distance here, otherwise you will read it 10. Okay, this is one oxygen. So each oxygen will have 6 valence electrons. Therefore, it will be 1 into 6, that is 6 electrons. Then we have how many hydrogens? 4 hydrogens. Okay, 4H into each hydrogen 1 electron, valence electron. It will be 4 electrons. So total how many electrons here? 14 electrons. Total, say we have 14 electrons here. So now in drawing the Lewis structure, we should ensure all these 14 electrons have been used here. And we have to ensure that the lone pairs are used for forming the completing the octet. Okay. Now here, if we have to draw this diagram, you have to complete this. Now put all the bonds here. Now when you are putting these bonds here, what is missing? Oxygen. This oxygen doesn't have an octet. Okay, there is no octet here. So what is to be done? We have to see all the 14 electrons are used here in drawing the structure of methanol. Okay, when you are drawing it like this, there is no octet here. And only 10 electrons, you can see only 10 electrons are used, 4 electrons are still missing. Okay, these 4 electrons, missing electrons, we will be filling it as a lone pair of electrons. Therefore, the structure will become like this. This is a bond here. Okay, there will be a lone pair here, there will be a lone pair here. So this is the way you have to write the valid Lewis structure. So when the oxygen is having no octet here, now we have to complete it with the lone pair of electrons. Okay, so now how will you draw in the case of multiple bonds? We will come to multiple bonds. That also interesting, but not complicated. Same procedure we will have to follow. For ethylene, that is, ethylene has got a double bond and acetylene has got a triple bond. Okay, then how these bonds are formed here? So we will just see in the case of Lewis structure for ethylene, C2H4. Okay, this ethylene, again the same procedure, arrange the atoms. So you have hydrogen, then you have carbon, hydrogen, again a carbon. I have already put a bond here, that I will. Okay, like this. Okay, so we have to arrange it, C2H4. Now, what is the next step? Counting the electrons. So, step 2, count the electrons. Okay, 1, 2, steps 1, 2, 3. You have to follow those steps only now. Now, okay, what is the step 2? Count the electrons. How many electrons? 2 carbons are there. So 2 carbon into 4 electrons each. This will give you 8 electrons. Then hydrogen, how many hydrogens? 4 hydrogens. Okay, 4 hydrogen into 1 electron each. It will be 4 electrons. Therefore, how many total? 12 electrons. Total 12 electrons. So we should see in the structure for ethylene, all these 12 electrons are used. And also we should ensure that hydrogen is not having more than 2 electrons and carbon is not having more than 8 electrons. That is a second row element. Okay, so now the step 3 is adding all the bonds and lone pairs. Okay, and how will you add these bonds and lone pairs and all here? We have to, you see, this will become like this. Okay, I will add the bonds. Like this. Then this carbon, both the carbons do not have an octet, because this carbon is having only 3 bonds. We know carbon should have 4 bonds here. So this also is having only 3 bonds. The number of electrons is only 10. Therefore, we have to put a non-bonding pair of electrons here over the carbon, or this carbon or this carbon. It doesn't make any difference. So even then, this doesn't form, this carbon does not have an octet. So to give, both carbons an octet, both carbons we should give an octet, one lone pair, it is to be changed or rather converted into a bonding pair of electrons between the 2 carbon atoms, forming a double bond. So that is how we will have to do here. Okay, now this lone pair, non-bonding pair, it will become a bonding pair of electrons here between the carbon atoms. Okay, to give both carbon atoms an octet, one lone pair is to be changed into one bonding pair of electrons between the 2 carbon atoms, and a double bond will be formed here. Okay, so this can give you a structure like this. This is the structure here. Then there is a double bond. Now here each carbon atom has got 4 bonds here. Okay, and this uses all the 12 electrons. We have 12 electrons are here. All the 12 electrons are used here, and each carbon atom is having 4 bonds. This is how the structure of ethylene, the Lewis structure of ethylene, it is to be drawn. In the same way, we can draw the structure of acetylene. Acetylene is slightly different, because acetylene is a compound having a triple bond. How to draw the triple bond? Because there will be 2 lone pairs. These 2 lone pairs are to be changed into bonding pair. Then we will get a triple bond here. So acetylene procedure is the same thing. All these steps we will have to follow. Acetylene, the formula is C2H2. Okay. So how many, again counting the electron, 2 carbon. We know 2 carbon will be, say, 2 carbon into 4 electrons each. It will be 8 electrons. Okay. Then hydrogen, 2 hydrogen into 1 electron each. It will be 2 electrons. Okay. Therefore, total 10 electrons. Total 10 electrons. All the 10 electrons are to be utilized here. Okay. Now, first we will have to arrange the atoms. Arranging the atoms. That is the first step. Okay. Now, when we are becoming more and more familiar, we will keep writing is, You see, first we are arranging the atoms like this. Then we are adding the bond. Okay. The bonds have been added. Now, adding this thing, number of electrons here, it will be less. So we may have to put 2 lone pairs here over this carbon. Okay. Either you can put the lone pair. Now this carbon doesn't have an octet. The second carbon here doesn't have an octet. So we can put it in this fashion, or we can even put it in this fashion. Okay. So either way, these carbons do not have an octet. Therefore, this is not a correct method. Okay. Now, after placing all the electrons in the bonds and lone pairs, the principle here is, after placing all the electrons in the bonds and the lone pairs, okay, use the lone pairs to form a multiple bond if an atom does not have an octet here. Now here the carbon do not have an octet. We have placed all the electrons in the bonds, and the lone pairs also we have placed till what happens, the carbon does not have an octet. Therefore the procedure is you follow a multiple bond. Okay, you should have a multiple bond here. How will you form that multiple bond? That lone pair of electrons, it will shift like this. This lone pair, it can form a bonding pair. So it will become HC double bond C H. Okay, still it is not all right. This carbon has got only 3 bonds here. So this electron can also form like this. So the structure will become HC triple bond CH. This is your correct, valid Lewis structure for acetylene. Okay. So lone pair is to be changed into a new bond for each 2 electron needed to complete an octet. Okay. So 2 lone pairs are used here. In this case, 2 lone pairs are used to form 2 new bonds. Okay, forming a triple bond. That is how you have to draw the Lewis structure for acetylene. Okay, now we will change all these things. We will go to the concept of step 4, assigning formal charge. That will be very interesting. What is formal charge? You see, formal charge means it is not a real charge. In a Lewis structure, we have to assign charges. The charge assigned to individual atoms in a molecule. That is formal charge, So, I will just formal charge. Okay, it means the charge assigned to individual atoms in a Lewis structure. So it is an indication of the bond polarity, we can say, and it do not represent the actual charge on an atom, on all atoms in a molecule. Okay, now it is to be calculated. There is a procedure, there is a formula for calculating formal charge. Okay, the formal charge is calculated. First we have to write a valid Lewis structure. There is no way out. Okay, you have to write the Lewis structure. Now, formal charge Fc, it is equal to number of valence electrons on each atom, or on an atom, as a particular atom, we can say the number of valence electrons minus number of electrons an atom owns. This is the word owns. You should understand what does it mean. So formal charge, it is calculated by this formula. That is the number of valence electrons of an atom minus number of electrons an atom owns. Okay, the number of electrons owned by an atom, it is determined by its number of bonds and the number of lone pairs. That is so the number of electrons owned by, or an atom owns, it is determined by the number of bonds it can have and the number of lone pairs. Okay, now the fundamental principle here is an atom owns all of its unshared electrons. That is a lone pair of electrons. It is a private property, okay, of that particular atom. The atom doesn't have to share it with anybody. That lone pair, it belongs to that particular atom. An atom owns all of its unshared pair of electrons and half of its shared electrons. Okay, so simple example, I can just show you what I mean to say here. That is, for example, now we have ammonia. Okay, nitrogen having 3 bonds here with hydrogen and a lone pair. Now, the number of valence electrons minus number of electrons an atom owns. Here, in this case, what is the number of electrons owned by nitrogen? It is equal to what? An atom owns all the unshared electrons. That is 2 here. The unshared electron, nitrogen is having 2. So that is the property of this nitrogen. Okay. Now nitrogen is having bonds, 3 bonds with hydrogen. Okay. Each bond, NH bond, it is a 2 electron bond. Therefore, half of that belongs to nitrogen. Half will go to the hydrogen only. Because this bond is formed by 1 electron from hydrogen, 1 electron from nitrogen. Okay. Therefore, each bond, half of that electron only belongs to nitrogen. Half will go to hydrogen. Therefore, the number of atoms, an atom owns all its unshared electron, half of the shared electrons. Here the shared electron is 6. Okay. Therefore, half of that shared electron, it is equal to 3. Therefore, nitrogen owns, number of electrons owned by nitrogen here it is 5. Okay. Simple method. Another interpretation here I can say number of lone pairs plus number of bonds. Okay. Half the number of shared electron. It means it will be equivalent to the number of bonds because each bond, it is a 2 electron bond. So half of that means only 1 electron comes to nitrogen here. 1 electron goes to hydrogen only. Therefore, the number of electrons owned by an atom, it is equal to number of electrons owned by an atom, number of unshared electrons plus half the number of shared electrons. Okay. Number of electrons. It is not pair, it is number. Number of electrons owned by an atom equal to, what is that? Number of electrons owned by an atom, number of unshared electrons. That is the lone pair. Number of unshared electrons plus half the number of shared electrons. Okay. So number of electrons owned is equal to number of shared electrons plus half the number of electrons owned by the atom is equal to number of unshared electrons, that is a lone pair, plus half the number of shared electrons, that is equal to again number of unshared electron lone pair electrons plus half the number of shared electron, it is equivalent to number of bonds. Got the point? Number of bonds here. So this is how we have to calculate the formal charge. So this is actually formal charge actually. It will give you an indication. Okay, formal charge is how the number of electrons around a particular atom compares to its number of valence electrons. It is some kind of a relationship is there. Number of valence electrons and number of atoms around a particular number of electrons around a particular atom. Okay, now this will be number of valence electrons minus number of electrons an atom owns. Okay, number of valence electrons, there is no confusion. Each atom has got a particular number of valence electrons. Now number of electrons owned by that atom, it is equal to number of unshared electrons, that is a lone pair of electrons plus half the number of shared electrons. Okay, so because an atom owns all of its unshared pair of unshared electrons and half the number of shared electrons, because in a 2 electron bond, okay, one electron only belongs to that particular atom. The 1 electron belongs to the other atom. Therefore, it will be half of the shared electrons. Therefore, number of electrons owned by an atom is equal to number of unshared electrons plus half the number of shared electrons. So that is equal to number of unshared electrons plus number of bonds. Okay, by definition. Now, say if we say carbon, like this, carbon has got 4 bonds here. Okay, carbon shares how many electrons? 8 electrons. But carbon owns how many? Only 4 electrons here. This is how the difference is. You see, carbon is sharing. Now in the case of methane, we know that is CH4. Okay. So in the case of methane, we know that is the 4 bonds are there. So carbon is sharing 8 electrons here, because 4 bonds shared electrons are 8 electrons here, but carbon owns only 4 electrons. Okay, half the number of shared electrons only belongs to carbon, the rest goes to hydrogen. So in the same fashion, now if you say entity like this, okay, here the carbon shares how many electrons here? 3 bonds. 3 bonds means carbon shares 6 electrons here, and carbon has got 2 unshared electrons. Therefore carbon owns how many? 3 plus 2, that is 5. Okay, this is how you will have to calculate it. Okay, now the formal charge. Now the sum of the formal charge, of all the atoms, individual atoms, it is equal to the net charge on the molecule. Now just I can show you an example. How will you calculate the formal charge, determination of formal charge? By an example, it will be very clear to you. So I will give you the hydronium ion, that is the protonated ion. So hydronium ion, what will be the formal charge? Hydronium ion will be H3O plus. This is our hydronium ion. How will you write it? Lewis structure. First you have to draw the Lewis structure here. H, then O, H, H. This is our hydronium ion. Okay, now we will have to find out what is the formal charge on each atom here on hydrogen and oxygen, individual thing, and you sum up everything together, that will be the formal charge on the entire ion here. Okay, now the 2 steps as usual, that is we have to see the formal charge on oxygen and formal charge on hydrogen. What are the steps? Formal charge on oxygen, for example, you see number of valence electrons minus number of electrons owned by oxygen here. Okay, so number of electrons owned by oxygen, how many are there? It has got, oxygen has got 3 bonds here. Therefore 6 by 2, that is 3. Okay, 2 into, that is number of electrons owned by oxygen. By oxygen, how many are there? Number of electrons, that is it has got 2 non-bonding electrons, that is owned by oxygen only, plus how many bonds? 3 bonds are there. 3 bonds means 6 electrons, therefore half of 6. Okay, this is how step by step we should go. So this will be 5. Okay, this is the number of electrons owned by oxygen atom. Correct? Now what is the formal charge? The formal charge on oxygen, it is equal to number of valence electrons, we know it is 6, and number of electrons owned by oxygen 5. Therefore it will be plus 1. This is the formal charge on oxygen atom, 6 minus 5 plus 1. Okay, this is how we have to calculate. Then in the case of hydrogen, okay, now hydrogen atom, number of electrons owned by each hydrogen atom, how many are there? Hydrogen doesn't have any lone pair, therefore hydrogen will be, there is no lone pair, therefore it is 0. And how many bonds here? OH bond, 2 electrons, therefore it will be half of 2. Half of 2. So it will be 1. So this will be the number of electrons owned by hydrogen atom. Okay, because it is forming an OH bond. You don't take all the bonds together. Each bond separately you take. Say OH bond, 2 electron bonds, one electron, half of that is belongs to hydrogen here. So like this. Okay, 0 plus half of 2, that is 1. Now the formal charge on hydrogen will be how much? 1 minus 1. Number of valence electron, hydrogen is 1, and 1 minus 1, it will be 0. Okay, now overall charge, once we have determined the formal charges on individual atoms here, we can see the overall charge on the ion here. Okay, it is equal to sum of all the formal charges. Overall charge is sum of all the formal charges. Okay, so what will be the sum of all the formal charges? Oxygen, we have plus 1, and hydrogen, all the 3 hydrogens are 0. Formal charge is 0, 0, 0. Then oxygen we have plus 1. Therefore, the overall charge on the particular ion is plus 1. Okay, that is the sum of all the formal charges. So I hope you have understood the concept of formal charge. Okay, so thank you very much.